Tom, how was the experience upon the arrival to airport?
You know, it's obviously very different to what we're used to of getting to an airport. Usually it's just customs, bags, get on the bus and go to the hotel, whereas this time it was a 3-hour process of different forms and papers and checks and then a test. So it's very different, but it was worth it to be able to get here and compete.
How long did it take?
So when we got on the bus to leave the airport, it took 3 hours.
Todos los protocolos que se hacen de seguridad, inclusive en el avión veníamos completamente solos.
По прилету в Токио в аэропорту находились 3 часа, заполняли очень много бумаг, ковид-тесты там всякие сдавали. Потом прилетели, не знаю, мне понравилось и проживание, понравился бассейн, но питание в Токио вообще отстой.
It's pretty intense. We had to go through 7 checkpoints and wait 3 hours, but I think ultimately it was necessary for the safety of the athletes.
How was the transfer to accommodations?
The transfer to accommodation was great, pretty swift and easy. I think it was about 30 minutes. Arrived at the hotel, waited to check in, and then we were straight up to our rooms. And then, as you know, it's food in the rooms and very much just stay within your room until you need to leave for training. But it keeps you focused.
How different is the competition compared to pre-COVID events?
It's different. The training experience was very different because normally the boards are very busy, whereas this time there were lines at the bottom of the stairs and you were called which board you were going to so we could keep our distance. So that was very different than normal, but it was nice to be able to see everyone again after a year of no competitions.
Sí, ha sido muy diferente hasta los protocolos de entrenamiento. Nos dan menos horas de entrenamiento, solamente era 1 hora y era un caos. La verdad era muy complicado porque teníamos que guardar distancia, pero entre 50 clavadistas en la plataforma era casi imposible. Entonces sí se volvió un poquito difícil guardar la distancia y todo, pero al final pues salieron bien las cosas.
Сейчас, когда ковид, нет зрителей вообще, и мне как-то спокойнее прыгается. А когда вот я был в Ванжу, было много зрителей, и они мне чуть-чуть мешали, потому что когда ты прыгал, они все начинали кричать.
Well, it's not that different. I mean, the only difference is that we don't get to roam around and visit the city and interact with other divers as much, but the competition is the same.
Were there restrictions and limitations to time?
I think the limitations are necessary to keep everyone safe because if, for example, one person got COVID while we were here, or more people, and they were training in the pool and being really close to everyone, it could spread very quickly. So keeping everyone safe is very important, and I think that was the only way that this event could go ahead.
Well, I think for political reasons, they had to formulate a plan that seemed like it was airtight, and so it's understandable that they took these precautions, or at least formal precautions. But of course, I mean, the mental well-being of the athletes should be the centerpiece, the most important aspect of a competition, or at least the organization of a competition. And if that is not does not maintain or encourage, I think that's very disappointing. And if they cannot have the competition while preserving the mental and physical integrity of the athletes, they shouldn't make it happen.
All in all, did you feel safe through the event?
Yes, I felt very safe through the event. I think everybody's been very good about wearing masks and keeping distance and staying within their rooms and eating in the hotel, not leaving. So I think it's as safe as it possibly can be during this time.
En general, ¿se sintió seguro durante todo el evento?
Sí, me sentí muy bien, muy seguro. Japón se caracteriza por ser un país que hace muy bien las cosas. Casi diario, si no es que diario, hacíamos prueba de saliva para detectar el COVID. Entonces todos los protocolos de sanidad y de seguridad se siguieron. Y nada, feliz.
COVID is not a threat to me. I mean, I think you have to put it into perspective and understand that COVID doesn't kill anyone our age. And so from a statistical point of view, we shouldn't be worried at all. We should be worried, of course, of catching and having to stay in Japan for 2 weeks, but that's different, right?
What are your expectations for the Olympics?
I think the Olympic Games might be very similar. I don't know if more people would have had vaccinations by then. But I think we'll still have to be keeping distance, wearing masks and trying to keep everyone safe. And I think it's important that we respect the fact that we are everyone's in a different country. We're in Japan, it's not our home, so we should respect what they want.
Obvio hablo como clavadista, me encantaría ganar la medalla que tanto quiero, que tanto sueño. Y más que nada hacerle ver a todo México y a todo el mundo que se vea en cada uno de los países que a pesar de lo horrible del COVID se puede seguir luchando, se puede trabajar y dedicarle la competencia a los doctores, a las personas que arriesgan su vida para salvar el COVID.
Конечно, хотелось бы попасть, завоевать медаль, но буду стараться.
Feliz de estar acá, después de mucho tiempo de no competir, reencontrarme con mis amigos, con la alberca, con los clavados. Lamento la situación en la que en la que estamos actualmente en el mundo, porque la alberca es maravillosa. Me hubiera encantado a mí en lo personal ver la alberca llena. Es una instalación muy bonita y mi sueño era estar acá con mi hija, que me estuviera viendo. Obviamente por las circunstancias no se puede, pero estoy feliz de que a pesar de todos los problemas que han pasado, estemos luchando por el sueño.